So when I did my second session of the Water Change Companion, this was one of the snippets that I pulled out. This is a re-upload because somehow in the original version of this snippet, this clipping of the longer production, my whole audio dropped out of it. So I really loved this story. It was one of my favorite parts that I couldn't bear to just have have it kind of broken that way. So I've decided to re-upload it now. Enjoy this great story from Alex.
My wife always says I'm old man that she married a guy 10 years younger who ended up being 20 years older in reality, So my wife's actually 10 years older than me, but she's in way better health. And then once we got married, literally a year and a half into our marriage, I got hit by lightning, broke my back and my skull, and had, bad head injury. And it kind of, she's like, I thought I married this, I thought I robbed the cradle, and now I've got this old man as a husband. I've always had kind of the disposition of a quirky, nerdy person, I suppose. But yeah, so
I've never met anyone in my life that's been struck by lightning. So what happened? Can you tell me about that a little bit?
Yeah, it happened, and actually, yet again, like it's kind of cool that it happened right when I started my channel. Well, not right when, but like a year into my channel, probably like right when people started kind of watching the channel. And it happened. I was on my porch. I was literally doing one of these, looking out and thinking, man, that sky is epic. And I used to take pictures. I'm also into photography. My wife is too. But I used to take pictures of lightning storms, and I'd go to the Midwest because we don't get much here in Seattle. But I'd go to the Midwest or Texas or Florida, and I'd kind of chase in tornado season or hurricane season. I'd kind of wait around, and then I wasn't one of the daredevils, but I'd go to a big hotel or something on the beach and try to get some pictures of storms rolling in over the city and stuff like that. And I've had a lot of time out taking pictures of lightning. I mean, I've got a few thousand pictures of lightning, from galleries and stuff too, that when I have done a little bit of photography in my art life. But literally, I was like, I should probably get my camera. This is an epic, you could see the anvil shaped cloud, and it was midnight, and it looked like this black hole in the sky rather than that kind of ambient city light, since I lived in the heart of Seattle at the time, in the downtown area. And I was on the third floor, and out of nowhere, no lightning had happened yet, no thunder had happened yet. Purple light came up from these cherry trees that were topped right at our balcony level, and they're called step leaders, and they are the ground sending up signals of electricity, and then the electricity actually connects from the sky to the ground. I've got a couple videos on lightning and actually how important it is for our fish keeping too. It makes all the phosphates and some of the interesting, chemicals we need. Like the dust from the Sahara floats over the Amazon, and if lightning wasn't hitting it, and if it wasn't there as a nucleation, is that the word? The the nucleus of every raindrop has dust in it, and then that forms a raindrop. It goes up, freezes, comes down, melts, freezes with the updraft, and it starts creating friction in the atmosphere. And it's always fascinated me. But so I started investigating after I got hit all the different ways that is it connected to what I'm doing and things like that. But for the incident itself, sorry, you got to keep me on track. I'm a space cadet with all the tangents that go through my mind. But I got hit. I got picked up about probably like 8 feet or so, and thrown through the French doors of the balcony I was on. It was just a pretty small balcony, about 4 feet wide, and then these double French doors that open outward. And I literally busted them inward, and broke the center, like little locking point. And then I landed on a really hard
Wow.
modern art looking table that my wife used to have. And so I hit my head on the door. the doorknob hit my spine and back and left a pretty good mark. And then I ended up kind of out like this on flat onto the table. Um, the glass didn't really cut me up or anything, surprisingly, because the doors broke the hinge or the lock point. And then I screamed to my wife, who was asleep downstairs. She heard the noise, but I apparently I don't remember this little bit, but um, I screamed and said like I got hit, like I got something blew up, or I don't, I had a few different explanations of what was going on. So she thought I was tripping on something or had gone insane, like she didn't know what was going on. But then she said she could smell the like burnt smell, and so we called 911. They checked me out. They took all my vitals, and they were like, "Well, it's a 5-hour wait at the ER, and you didn't have a heart attack, and you look okay." And I literally spit out 2 teeth already at that moment. And they're like, well, you better go to the dentist in the morning. But they really didn't
Wow.
think I got hit. They're like, we don't have much lightning here. I think you got scared and you booked it for the door and knocked yourself out. And I was like, well, if you guys are sure, then I guess you're the medical people. And so my wife and I are like, well, we'll go first thing in the morning to the ER. Well, about an hour later, as she was bringing me ice packs, she's like, what is that awful smell? It smells like plastic. And my pajamas were melted to the back of my legs and it had fused with my skin. And that's when we knew, like, uh-oh, like
Oh my.
I did get hit and it's something serious. And mentally I was okay right away, but about a week to a week 2 weeks afterwards, in fact, I even did a stream saying like this thing happened and I'm kind of gonna need some time for myself. I'm just kind of shaken by it. um, Obviously I went in and got MRIs and all that stuff, and they they noticed that I'd fractured my orbital socket here, and then I'd perforated the roof of my mouth into my sinus. It actually was the heat expanding in my own mouth, like it superheated the air, and it caused that pressure to almost like it didn't have anywhere to go in my sinus, and so it perforated it. It was their guess, and then beyond that, it also in the words of the medical report, it said obliterated my vertebrae at L5 and S1, kind of where your sciatic nerve starts to come down through,
Right. Yeah.
which is real painful now still. I still got a lot of chronic pain from it. And then also my C4, 5, and 6 up in my neck. The discs were completely blown, but it missed my heart, crossed across my body twice, like once this way, then bounced to the other way. So it hit my spine twice, but it didn't hit the spinal cord, I guess. But it did shatter a vertebrae to the point where it was like hairline cracks in the bone. And then it also, probably from the impact of hitting the door and all that, that's probably where the herniations came from. But I thought that was the worst of it when we got that report, and obviously I was in pain. But then they said um, that oftentimes you'd start to lose, other functions and things. Lightning's unpredictable. And so within 2 weeks, I began to lose my ability to write and grab like a cup or hold a cup and hit the remote on the TV or work my cell phone. And what happens is when you're exposed to very, very, very high voltage, it happens sometimes with the high power line workers. They said that and lightning are really the only times it happens, but it melts all the myelin sheaths in your brain, and those are exactly what happen when you get Parkinson's or dementia or Alzheimer's. There's plaques that develop, and your myelin sheaths are affected. And when you get hit with that electricity, it strips those connections, and so where you have these lifelong connections of, information goes from A to B, it may rewire A to C to B and like get there eventually. But I had all this synesthesia where I could like taste what I could hear, and I could feel like textures when I'd see colors, like bizarre
Yeah.
things going on for about a month, 2 months. And then I did 5 months of occupational therapy, 4 or 5 days a week. to try to get my ability to write back. Because as an artist at the time, I was still a full time artist. I thought I'm done for, let alone like I didn't know if it was going to get worse and my ability to walk and stuff would be off. But the main thing was I had to sleep like 18 hours a day for almost a year, and was just extremely tired and drained easily. But slowly but surely, it's just working at it. I got better and better. And then the ability to write with my right hand again came back when I was standing in the kitchen, got a phone call from a doctor, answered the phone. He said, "You got an appointment on whatever, Thursday at 2 o'clock." So I grab a pen and without thinking, take the note down. And it was just like I'd never had a problem. So the neurologists and everything
Wow.
are like, "Yeah, we don't know. Lightning's pretty crazy, huh?" Like that was their answer to it. And so, yeah, it's been a long road of recovery, and I still have a lot of neuropathy as well as sections of my body where I got burned internally, my liver, and then one of my kidneys got nicked. So it's good that I stopped drinking and everything. They said that I had like 20% functionality in one of my kidneys at one point, but you're resilient. Your body's resilient in a lot of ways. So, um, yeah, I really lucked out in the sense of where it traveled through my body. It was very close to paralyzing me in my neck and in my lower back, and it missed by must have been less than an inch. So it's just bizarre. I still can't comprehend it, but the the bolts left the back of my legs. My back of my kneecaps is where it exited on both sides, and I had these scars. I think on my channel actually, on the live streams around the time, you probably can see it pretty well. But they're kind of like these zigzags in almost like a fractal pattern. And so you can Google lightning scars. I didn't get any cool scars that lasted, but other than I've lost now 19 teeth since it happened. So it shattered, that heat change shattered my teeth. So I need to get dentures soon, which is depressing at 35.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I feel like
You
things
have
are,
a great smile, though.
yeah, I've always had kind of a janky smile. So, and right now I'm missing
Eh,
like teeth that are just they've had to pull they do the root canal, crown, blah blah blah, and it's like, oh, here's 3 grand. I spent 30 grand after lightning on dental work because insurance didn't cover it. So we spent a lot of our savings
right.
on that.
If you'd like to see the full version of this video, it's right here. And I invite you to check out more interviews from the Water Change Companion. Bye bye.